I will show you how to verify your SAS data against CDISC standards using a tool called BI Flash. This is directly on your iPhone, so if you were to tap on this application, it will connect to a SAS server. Now the verification for CDISC is available as a macro, so you would tap on the macro here, and these are some tools that are related to CDISC Builder, which is a series of macros. The one in particular that we wanted to run is the CDISC verification check, and I would just select a library and a data set where I want to have it compared or verified. So if I were to select on the library here, it will list all the data libraries I have access to. I'll go ahead and select an example data library and also select an example data set here, AE2. So I'll select one more down here. I can select multiple data sets to be verified. So I'll go ahead and select the same data library, but this time I'm going to select on yet another data set, DM as an example. So now I have an example of DM and AE, and I'll go ahead and tap on the run, which means I'll execute the macro on the server using a series of validation checks, and then it will return the results to the screen. In this case, it will list the two data sets at the top. I'm going to zoom in a little bit using the pinch, and this will allow me to see a little bit closer the two data sets that I am checking here. Now in this case, for example, as you can see, this case number 1, it sees that there's some missing required variables, and if you were to scroll down, you will see other cases of, for example, in this example, there's a date variable that is not of standard ISO format. So if you scroll back to the left, you will see that particular variable. If you go to the very top, this is like a variable navigator here. So this shows you all the variables that if you tap on that, it will show you the choices of variables that it found. So if I were to select on one variable and go to done, it would jump down to that specific variable, and then I can go ahead and review the problems that particular variable is having. So this is a quick navigational tool that is useful. Now all the checks that it's doing, as you can see here as a link, you can actually tap on a particular link and it shows you in more detail what that particular check is. I'll go ahead and open a browser that shows you this in greater detail. This is actually a very long list, is documented in this CDISC macro. As you can see here, it checks all the required fields and variable attributes. So if you were to keep going down, you'll see that there are actually 113 specific checks. And some of these checks are derived from the guidelines established from WebSDM. So if you were to go to WebSDM, you will see all these checks, and all of those are included in the checks with the same reference number here. But this particular tool does some additional checks. That's why there's actually more number of checks, 113 in this case, compared to WebSDM. So it's very extensive. So this is a good tool to verify your data. So if you go back here, and you can keep on selecting up to 5 data sets at a time that you can then execute and get the results to review if your data sets are compliant with the guidelines.